Hello, welcome to the Joseph Kerr Show. I'm Joseph Kerr. Today is Friday. Today's Tuesday, um, November the 1st, 2022, beginning the first day of November. And we have some sad news about Lesson Day. Lesson Day was Halloween, and last night went off. Takeoff was shot and killed in Houston last night. And it was he was the best rapper I ever seen in my life. But now we're going to remember what has happened for us. Now listen to this. Now, remembering Takeoff, the best rapper in Migos. He was the quiet member of the Atlanta rap group. But his the melody ballad and commanding impresses. Every rap group is subject to debates about the best member, but it's not often that an artist takes a sentence like Crudup, who repeatedly started that he felt fellow Mingos member Takeoff was the best in the trio. He always been working on his craft. He just masterminding his craft. The rapper told Power 106 in 2018. Takeoff, born Christmas Ball, was fatally shot in Houston this morning, ending the chapter of the Atlantic rap group that helped define 2010's rap music. While Takeoff, who was 28, didn't have the high-profile relationship that Offset has with Cardi B and wasn't the outgoing public figure Corolla is. The consistency of his body of what demonstrated that he was the civilizing presence of the multiple flamingos. Fans can always rely on Takeoff to deliver a strong versus the multimeter and masterful mass of flow, cadence, and lyrical precision. Considering his impressive roles on Commando, Takeoff didn't just find one pocket and rely on the same flow throughout the track. He valued his insanity. He knew when to put his bars by his sampler. We the ones that came in with the knocking doors. He knew when to carry his flow into the next bar and when to send a kind to leave space for endeavors. Commando is from Mingos, while in two mixtape, excursion to their 2013 law, which includes the breakout verses and Hannah Montana hits. Now, Venezuela, their commander debut single, is perhaps the quintessential ensemble of the Mingos flow. Take off bowlers, the song's middle with an impressive verses that starts with him competing with his own I Do It and Dance before veering into a stellar delivery. Party started tracks such as Venezuela explaining Mingos and Take Off honest. Even even its listeners can't keep up with him all the way through, which flute non-rap professor can. His candidness allows them to let back onto the body on the next bar right in time for adding level in blood and wine. Take us Vasa. Vasa defines the Mingos appeal, which made them the soundtrack to Atlanta's busty party scene in the 2010s. New York Times reported George Cascala's new book, Black Captain, shows the chronicle in the Atlanta rap scene from 2013 to 2020. Of course, the foundation of the trap rap happened in the late 90s when Mingos members were just kids in Grenada County. There were trap kings before Mingos. The General Trills was the fortunate and talented enough to take the ball Bolton from their postseason. In some ways, Takeoff represented the best qualities of the trap guards before him. He had the technical post processors or TI. They had less powers of Jay-Z. And Mullen the work effort of the profile Googie Me. That combo helped Mingos brand attract commander in the world's attention. Takeoff was filmed as an episode of Colton's lead single, Bad in Barger. His duet looked like I was left off bad in Barger. Response was equivalent as any ball on the song, but that was a matter of chance rather than an indicator of his devotion to the group. Nevertheless, he stole the show on the following up single, T-shirt. He just started steaming across on Molly's Noah and B production. Takeoff kept the same section throughout his verse, but altered his flow was with sisters' technical differences that reflected the mysteries of crap that Cortland credited for him for. In 2018, Takeoff released The Last Rocket, was his explaining on his Mingos work with storytelling tracks like I Remember, with hinting at an up-tapping potentially, and only built for infinity links. His recent release, Corporation Project, with Corvo display and two posting Christie. They could have built on for the foreseeable future, but with his tragic past and Takeoff won't be able to explore the following chapters of his life and odyssey. Today, using on Twitter, he says they work on the live broadcast on Mingo's 2021 Jimmy Fallon's performances, pointing out that the highlight for all of us, was Takeoff performances. His ability to command in the room without making a mistake, knowing his lyrics plus everyone else, and still being the most humble that commanding apprentices carried on throughout his career. At his best, he was deaf, distorted, and downright tolerating on Mingo's bangles. And without Takeoff, Mingo don't sell over 3 million albums, getting known for 2 Grammys, or maintain the seat in popular culture that they did. This is so kind of story of some people of the rap today. It looks like it was a scene on a thing that we saw. Now Takeoff, and remember of the hip hop trio Migos, was shot and killed this morning in downtown Houston. The rapper's attorney confirmed to ABC News, along with my phone. I was devastated by the tragic death of Chris Ball, known to his fans as Takeoff. Authority drew finding and told ABC News in a statement Takeoff was not only a brilliant musician and artist with unlimited talent, but also a recorder and generous soul. He will be greatly missed now and always. The Grammy-nominated artist, whose real name is Christian Ball, was 28. Takeoff was attending a private event along with fallen Mingos members Corvo when the shooting occurred, according to the police. Sergeant Michael Allerton of the Houston Police Department told reporters The officers were called at 2:30 a.m. on Tuesday to the 1200 block of St. Genevieve when they found a black man in his late 20s dead on the scene. Arlington said police could not confirm the identity of the victim and would have more information after a reveal by the medical expert. He did, however, confirm that Takeoff and Carvalho were both presented when the shooting occurred. Troopers poured in for snow rapper PNB block as gun violence plunged the hip hop community. The shooting took place at the 810 Billboards in Bowling in downtown Houston. Police say they found multiple shell casings on the third level of the building. We were informed that there was a private party being held at an event last night that ended and is starting at 1 a.m., but the party carried over till about 2 a.m. Till they were cleared out. That's when the shooting occurred, Arlington said. Now, in the reveal, Takeoff dead at 28 after Houston shooting. That's what it said on the video. Police said two other men who were injured in the shooting and was transported to a local hospital. There were rappers at the party. We don't know if they were involved. It's still the early process of the investigation. Arlington said, adding that there were between 40 to 50 people present when the shooting occurred. Arlington told reporters police were still investigating the events that led up to the shooting. How long Dog's partner Bill Jen is turning plans into propose after his murder. Police urging anyone with information about the shooting to contact the HPD homicide unit at 713 318 318 3600. Well, anyway. Ringo Migos rose to standard in 2013 with their song versus the group is known for hits like World Sports, World Sport, Fisher, Nick Merger, and Carden B. Early this week, Takeoff and Cavallo, who were related, released a video for their song Messy off the duo's newest album, Only Built for Infinity Links. Takeoff's death is the latest in a string of shootings and killings of prominent rappers in recent years, as well as up and coming local artists from Chicago to New York who were shot and killed at a young age during intense robberies or violence stemming from report disagreements. As Trip reported on social media from fans and followers artists in the wake of the news, a clip of Takeoff's appearances on Revel TV's Drink Champs went viral. Of course, you was shining before, but you were dancing on this one. It was low time. Host NORE told Takeoff, "It's time to pop it. It's time to give me my flowers. I don't want them around here. Takeoff said. Snoop Dogg calls for peace in hip hop and stain of rapper killings. Hip hop stars share tributes and experience to their condemnness on social media in the wake of Takeoff's death. We lost a long legend, Rick Ross tweeted. My best friend, my brother. I don't want to believe this. I love you so much, bro. Rick the Kid tweeted. I'm so sorry. Chance the Rapper, we share a photo with Mingos from one of his shows in 2013, wrote on Twitter that he is broken-hearted and confused this morning. But I have to say, Take is a one or kind friend that will always acknowledge you. Always make sure you was good and will always tell you keep God first. Man, I wish I had more times to see you on this art. He added. Meanwhile, designer brought down details during the Instagram live session on Tuesday saying, why do we do this? He also paid tribute to other rappers who were killing Richard Gales before declaring that he's done with rap in the Instagram story. That's the sad part. That was always a sad part because I know rappers who die every day. 96, we had Tupac. 97, we had the notorious B.I.G. Last year, we had Dot Rock. We had Long Dope. And now we had Takeoff this year. This Tuesday morning at 2:18 a.m. So sad to see the one of those rappers die. It's really, really sad. I couldn't believe it. 296, 97, 2002, last year, and then this year. How did this happen? At midnight, in the morning. How did this happen at 2 a.m. in the morning? The party got started, and then shots fell. The party was over, and that's what it is. All the people you don't need to hang out, don't go out there shooting people, and something like this can happen. You can't shoot the right guy like that. When the rapper is dead, hip hop's dead, people are gonna be crying and hollering and screaming, and it's just not right to kill the rapper. For real. It's not right to kill the rapper. It's over with. So what do? Are we gonna start? We start this violence. We start this violence. We start the killing. We start everything. We don't want to go out like that. And sometimes we don't want to go out like that because if we get in trouble, if we kill the rapper, you go to jail. So that's what it had to. That's what it has to be. So anyway, things ain't looking right. Ain't looking good this morning. Tomorrow is gonna it's up. Now the traffic shooting of death. Now the scene at the traffic shooting death of rapper Takeoff has promoted several stars to take to social media to honor the family artist. Takeoff was part of the successful group Migos. That early Tuesday morning, after shots were found at Houston, Texas, bowling in Pujar, he was 28. Y'all will arrive his governor surrounding Takeoff's violent death on Twitter, writing, "This has to stop." Sending the love to friends and family. Gucci Mane, who recently collaborated with Takeoff on the track Us versus Them, wrote on Instagram, "This breaks my heart," upon learning the news. Other music stars to share tributes and condolences, including Shola Belly or Shola X Haley, and tweeted that her heart is broken in Miami, one half of the hip hop duo City Girls, who were down Takeoff along with three broken hearts. Kid Cobra, who worked with Migos on the song Danger, tweeted a simple "Rest in Peace, Takeoff." Kelly Wallen shared an Instagram story in which she exclaimed, "There are no words," over the news snapping about Takeoff's death. And artist Kiki Palmer shared on Instagram, "This is horrible. From the tragedy of the death to the tragedy of there being a video of it online. It's all just tragic, And I am so sorry to his whole family and all he touches. Really terrible. That is all. That is all I have to say on this, and on behalf of those rappers, and on behalf to the Jessica Show, my show, on behalf of my show, to all the rappers out there, no words. Till then, I'm Jessica. See you tomorrow.